I give up. This is my third attempt at a live stream. And on my phone, my face is just plastered there with a screenshot, like a still shot. And I don't even know if you can see me. I don't know. So I'm in front of the camera, believe it or not. I just don't know if you can see me. And I am just having like one of the worst healing crises of my life. So both internally and externally, I can't even keep up. Hello, Miss Daja. I can't even keep up. It doesn't move. I know. This is the third freaking stream. I don't understand. It did this. This is the third time I tried it, and it doesn't even move. I don't get it. I don't understand. I'm wondering if it's going on with other people on YouTube or if it's just me because I'm so low vibrational. I mean, I'm not, like, I guess is being sad low vibrational? I don't know. I kind of feel like it is. I feel like I'm so sad. Like, you guys should run for the hills. You should just kind of leave me here to sulk by myself. So I had to leave 3 men that I love energetically in the last 3 days, but not physically. I mean, this is all energetic, but I mean, all of it's energetic at the end of the day. Oh, is it Mercury retrograde? That makes sense. You know, Mercury retrograde normally doesn't affect me, actually. Yeah, Mercury retrograde and I are best friends. That's what I tell myself. Always works out. Thanks for the reminder, though. So my biological dad, who gave me up for adoption at 2 years old, I did Reiki 3 days ago. And then yesterday during the live stream I was talking to you guys about, a scorpionic ex from the past wiped me out real good. That one energetically took the cake and left me with nothing but crumbs. And then turns out, after I did Reiki on that situation, I actually, I had a dream with a guy that I have been in love with since I was like 16 years old. He and I went to high school together, but not just any high school. We went to this alternative school, and it was like one step before juvie kind of thing, because we were both just troubled children and troubled adults too, it seems. And yeah, we were 16, and he used to be like this bully to me. He was such a bully, but I didn't know that he liked me. Had no clue. No idea. You could have fooled me. I mean, I was the only one that he bullied really in the whole school. So I thought he just hated my guts, but turns out we had a soul contract, I guess. And anyway, that wasn't the craziest part. The craziest part was when I had to go move schools the next year. My mom came and got me because I was living with my grandparents out of state, and my mom came and grabbed me and took me to a different state. I never got to say goodbye to him. I mean, yeah, he was a bully, but he was also kind of not. We were like kind of best friends, but also kind of like not, but then kind of still, yeah. It was weird, right? So anyway, I just want to talk about him for a second because I felt like I went to his funeral today. And I really wish you guys could see like my animation, like me moving. This is just fucking ridiculous. I don't even know how to, I don't know, guys. So anyway, my mom, yeah, I graduated from that school the next year. And I got kicked out of her house the day after high school graduation. Literally the day after graduation, I had nowhere to go. I had $300 to my name. I had a beat up car and no job really, because I had just quit my job at Subway as a teenager to graduate. And so I had no money. The only place I could go was to my biological dad's house, my biological father. And he had already started a family. I didn't know the guy. He'd already had a wife and 2 kids. Like, I didn't fucking know him. He was the only number that my mom really knew that could take me in because my grandparents weren't going to do it. Oh, wait, that's right. My grandparents were dead by that point. Like, my grandpa had died, so I had nowhere to go. But here's the thing, I moved in with my biological father, and he love bombed me because he felt so guilty for abandoning me when I was 2. So his wife got so mad at me. I was only there like 4 months, and his wife, who, obviously married him after my mom left, they had 2 kids, 11 and 9, I think. Well, turns out all of them started hating me because I didn't know, energetically speaking, that I was taking from him. I didn't know how energy worked. Cord cutting, energy cords, attachments, karmic contract. I didn't know. So at 18 years old, I go to live with him, get my first like real gig at a job that I hate, but it pays the bills. And I was saving up, and my dad, which I was never allowed to call him dad when I was a kid. My mom forced me to call him by his first name. If I ever referred to him, I was either allowed to call him Devil's Spawn or his first name. That's it. My stepdad, I had to call dad. And I was brainwashed my entire life that an abuser was my dad. No. And when I was there for 4 months, and he love bombed me. I didn't know. But he was trying to make up for lost time. It wasn't really love bombing, it was real love. It's just that you give energetically to someone when you have karmic debt with other people. Like you have karmic contracts with others. I think most would have called him a narcissist. I know my mother brainwashed me to believe that about him, but once I got there, I saw, no, he's like such a beautiful man. Like, we looked identical, so he always wanted to know what were my favorite foods, what's my favorite sports, like what are my favorite video games. And he played my favorite video games, and he would buy me all this stuff that I never had a dad do. I never had a dad ever. And then all of a sudden, his wife started planting things in my room, sabotaging me, to complain about me to him. Fully grown 36-year-old woman at that time. I was like, listen, lady, there was nothing I could do. All I could do was just go to work, keep my head down, start saving up money, get my life together. But he would go up to her and say, is she really doing this? And his wife would say, yeah, she's really horrible. I don't know why we're letting her live here. And he started, I think, slowly starting to believe it because the evidence was racking up. Like she would just put like just the dumbest shit. She would just put like bottles or debris in my room, and excuse me, my shared room with my little sister. I didn't even get my own bed. We shared a bunk bed. And so at 18 years old, this was my life. And so she would like go tell my estranged father, yeah, your daughter's a wreck, man. Why are we letting a strange 18-year-old girl live here when she can't even live at her own house because she's a tyrant? Because her mom even hates her. There's something wrong here. What was the dude gonna do? He'd married this woman, had 2 kids with her, an entire family, established home, an entire business that he like ran for his boss. I'm telling you, he had an entire established life. He started to believe her. And then one day, they went on vacation. They went on a road trip for 2 days. The whole family, and I had to stay home because I had to work. But one day, she comes home, they come home, and she walks in the door and immediately says, "Why did you steal my car while we were gone?" I was floored. I was like, what are you talking about? I literally went to work with my car this weekend. I don't understand what you're talking about. Right in front of him and the kids, she was like, yeah, I see that you stole my car. Even the neighbor said that you took it. Wow. I can't believe you did that. And I was like, are you accusing me of grand theft auto? Are you accusing me of a felony right now? And the look on my dad's eyes, look on his face, man. Like he had just witnessed the crime take place or something. It was so believable. I was like, why would I fucking use your car? Just because the keys are here? I'm not a criminal. She's like, yeah, you're not staying here anymore. There's absolutely no way. So he looked at me with just like these sad puppy eyes, like, there's no way. There's no way. I mean, I remember, there's no way, Jenna. You wouldn't do that. And so I started saving up money. More and more, I would work overtime. I'd try to stay away as much as possible. And about the next month, I got this apartment. It was in the ghetto. It was a horrible place. It was, this guy hated my guts, but yet was a peeping Tom, but yet gave me the apartment instead of this fully established Marine that was trying to get the apartment. This dude was fully loaded, had a ton of money. He came in for an application the same time I did, and the guy gave it to me, which I didn't know, but I was quite the manifester back then. I guess I've always been a good manifester. When I need something, I can manifest like crazy. So it was like this hole in the wall studio apartment. It had bullet holes in the window, a peeping Tom neighbor, just a whole bunch of like really not the greatest neighborhood. I'm sorry. I don't even mean to judge, but it was the most horrible place. And anyway, I had to go there. And then I never talked to them again. They moved me in. I had all this used stuff from them. Like I got a used bed and used furniture and stuff like that to kind of get me started. And I never heard from them again. The day they helped move me in was the day I stopped talking to my dad. And 3 days ago, I did Reiki to remove energy cords from him and I. It's painful. It's so painful. What's so painful is the hatred that comes at me online too. There's so many people in here right now hurting me. I can feel it energetically. I'm getting so tired of being hurt. My whole life I've been suffering. I didn't even know it. I've never had a stable man in my life ever. Didn't even know what it was to be loved by a man until last night. This guy came into my dream who I'd loved since I was 16 years old. I had the biggest crush on him. Biggest crush ever. The craziest thing is, after I moved out of my dad's house, a couple years later, a girl comes to me at Walmart when I'm stocking shelves, third shift, and she comes to me, she's like, hey, remember our old job? Yeah, the one that I wanted to run from. She's like, yeah, it's the same job, but it's a new company and there's this really great opportunity. I'm leaving and I want you to replace me. Let me get you an application and let me get you in today. And I was like, okay. All right, I guess. It was better than that shithole I was working at for like $7.50 an hour. So I said, okay, fine. She asks me a little bit of, questions before I get there, because the boss is going to ask me a ton of questions. And I was like, okay, is he really going to ask me a ton? Because I just worked a full shift. Like, I don't know if I could do this. And she's like, yeah, he's going to really need to get to know you and stuff, right? So I get in there and I'm sitting in the waiting area to be seen at this new job, this new gig. And I happen to be watched by this other supervisor in a totally different department, this other guy who later on turns out to be my husband. But not before finding out that the boss that was going to hire me was the kid that bullied me in high school. He comes in, opens the door, doesn't even need to say anything. He just calls me by my nickname. And he's like, you want the job? right in front of this girl that had worked here. It's a very prestigious company. And she had worked here for years busting her ass. She thought I'd have to go through all these hoops. I'd have to jump through all this shit to get the job. And he was lined up just perfectly. He was my fucking supervisor. And he said, "You want the job, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Cool, you got it. Come back. Congratulations." And the look on her face, like, I mean, I know that she was used as a tool for the divine to bring me a new job, but like the jealousy in a way, like she felt almost jealous that I didn't have to do anything, that he liked me. She had been trying to impress him for years, I guess. So anyway, he just gives me the job. He sits me down. He's like, "What are you doing here? Where have you been? Where'd you graduate from? Why'd you leave school? Why'd you leave me? Why'd you leave?" Started asking all these things, and I was like, I didn't want to. My mom showed up one day, literally after school one day. My grandpa sits me down and he's like, "Your mom's on the way." She drove 700 miles to come pick me up. She's like, he said, and this was before he died. This is one of the last conversations I had ever had with my grandpa. He sits me down and he's like, "I'm not supposed to be telling you this. Your grandma and your mom told me not to tell you, but I don't think it's right. Your mom is on her way right now. You're not going to be able to say goodbye to your friends. You're not even going to turn in homework tomorrow. You're not doing anything. You're just leaving right now." So at 18, well, by this point, it was like I was 20 or 21 years old. By this point, when I sat with this guy, the bully, but yet also the secret crush I had, God, I was in love with him. I mean, he wasn't like bully, like he wasn't super mean. Okay, let's not get it twisted, guys. It's not like he was a total asshat. He was just one of those boys that when they like you, they flirt with you in a bullying manner. But I was the only one he ever did that to. I should have seen the signs. I didn't, though. I didn't know. I was in love with this guy, for real. And he was sitting across the table, and he's like, "I want you to have the job. I don't want to give it to anybody else." And by this point, I was single. I had just left a relationship with a manager supervisor. You're not allowed to date manager supervisors if you're a peasant at $7.50 an hour. But I had been dating this guy, but we always had to be secretive. We could only go to like these piano bars at night. We could go out of town. Like we would go to Ann Arbor and we would just hang out in like all the cool clubs, but we could never be public. Like nobody could ever see us during the day. So we either partied at night and hung out, or we would just go to like some bar in a dive in Ann Arbor and just pretend that we didn't even know each other during the day. That was a horrible way to live. I've never thought men could love me, ever. I've only ever seen men leave my life. So here's this guy sitting across from me, and here's the woman that got me the job, right? And she's in the room with us. And the way that this guy, he's just staring at me. Like he's been in love with me since I was 16, and I didn't know it. And I didn't even remember that she was there. It was like, I forgot that she even existed. But she sat in there with me, thinking that I'd have to like please this guy to somehow get the job, but he was basically begging me to take it. And because it was him, I was like, yeah, I'll take it, no problem. I mean, if you're gonna be my boss, okay, sure, yeah. I mean, that's kind of serendipitous and beautiful at the same time. Yeah, let's do it. So I get the new job. She starts to become super kind of bitchy to me. Next thing I know, that supervisor from the other department starts calling me on the phone. He's not calling me, he's calling the girl that's training me. And he's like, hey, can you please let that new girl know that, like, I want her number? And I was like, I'm sorry, I just got out of something, because I had been dating that guy on the down low. I mean, it's not like we were public, but I had feelings for him, and I was like, I just got out of that. I don't think so. But he was so persistent. He kept doing it, kept doing it. So eventually I finally said, what the fuck ever? Like, this dude would not stop. A month into me being there, he wouldn't even stop calling. And everybody was starting to like, and he's a supervisor there. So I was like, is this even right? Are you guys allowed to do this here? Because I had just been at Walmart where you're not allowed to fraternize. And here it is. This guy is like boldly asking me, like, will you go on a date with me? So I said yes. All the while having intense feelings though for my boss. Well, this new boss too. Anyway, I had a dream with this guy last night. I haven't seen him in 10 years, at least, maybe even more, 15? Wait, no, not that long. How long ago did I leave that job? I left that job in like 2011. How long is that? 12 years. He and my husband were really good friends because they were supervisors. Plus, I had started dating my husband, so I couldn't be with this guy anyway. I still would like talk to him, and he still had feelings for me, and I had feelings for him, but we couldn't do anything about it. Turns out, last night, he shows up in my dream space and tells me that he can't get over me, and he's kind of hoping I reach out to him so we could try it again. He's single, and I'm single now. We're the same age. It would be... Plus, there's so much love. Like, there's so much love in that dream. Like, oh my God. Plus, when I tune into his energy, there's so much love. It's like, this dude is pure fucking love. He's a starseed. I'm pretty sure of it. He was definitely the black sheep of the family. I'm pretty sure he's a starseed, and there's so much love. Anyway, this is not the first dream I've had. I had one a couple months ago too with him, and he was telling me, please reach out to me. Please reach out to me. And so I don't know. I'd love to. I'd love to. You have no idea. You have no idea. And just last night, I did Reiki on my false twin flame. I removed cords from my false twin, which is exactly why this guy came in the first place in the dream. So in 3 days, I had to do Reiki on 3 different men that I've loved. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I need someone in my life right now to hold space for me. I am not okay. I am not okay. I woke up and I felt like, wow, love is this close yet this far away. Because this guy, he's like, oh, he's gonna one day be something fierce. I'm telling you, with like the big technology, big tech. This guy knows it all. He's a fucking genius. A genius. He has devoted his life to a whole bunch of like technological advances, and he's so smart. But you know, I'm spiritual. I don't know. I don't think we'd work, you know? I have to sometimes ask myself, like, who's really truly going to be my counterpart? Is it going to be somebody that's like a Hierophant? I feel like they would have to be religious or spiritual in some way. I just don't think anymore that I can be with somebody who's a doctor or a scientist or you know, I can't. I had a soul contract with a doctor that I had to end about 7 or 8 months ago too. I went to the ER and found out I had a soulmate from a past life. The fucking doctor was an ER doctor in a past life. I don't know what he did in a past life, but in this life, he's a really sexy ER doctor who also came to me in dreams that night. I have a lot of dreams with these people, which is really great, but it's also really not. It's also really not. It's like, please just leave my life. Please leave me alone. When you're on the twin flame journey, you have to say goodbye to every single fucking soulmate. Every single person you've ever loved. It's like everyone you've ever loved. You can't have any attachments at all. And it is like the worst feeling in the entire world. And I've never felt like this before. This is like I'm actually starting to hate God now. Like fuck you, God. Fuck you. And it's not God's fault, and that's the worst thing. I can't do it. I can't do it, you know? I love this guy so much. There's so much love in my heart for this man. I've loved him since I was 16. He told me telepathically and in the dream space, he's been telling me I wish I could have saved you from him. My husband, who was an abuser. He was like, I wish I could have saved you from him. They were supervisors. They were in different departments, but they were the same level of, they were supervisors. Both of them were the same caliber, and they were friends. I mean, you can't really know somebody. They never knew him. They didn't know who he was really. A narcissist who was killing me slowly. And I was with him almost a decade, and he killed me. I literally died. I literally had a near-death experience. Like I hated myself so much I gained 200 pounds in my marriage so that my husband would stop touching me. I wanted to be so unattractive that he would leave me alone. And this guy was telling me telepathically and in the dreams last night, I wish I could have saved you from him. I had no idea. Well, he knew it was bad, but he didn't know it was that bad. So when I divorced in 2019, this guy never knew. Like, he never knew I was even really leaving him. He never knew I just left the state. I ironically went back to my parents. Isn't that the fucking story of the year? I literally went back to my parents, the same parents that kicked me out at 18. Like what is my life? What is this? Most people would think I'm pulling this out of my ass. This is my real fucking life. It's so weird. It has to be written. I feel like somebody wrote this. It's so serendipitous. It doesn't even make sense. As I look back, I'm like, there's no way. Magic has been taking over my life since the day I was born. I literally, you guys, I think some people might actually think I'm really, truly lying. I am not lying. My life is this fucking crazy. I went back to my parents after my divorce. I had nowhere to go. Once again, I had $300 to my name and a beat up car. Can you make it up? Well, actually, when I was going to divorce him, I had $300. Once I got the divorce settlement, I didn't have $300. I got a divorce settlement. It wasn't nearly what I was owing or deserving of, what he owed me, but technically I was just like, I want out of here. Just give it to me. Just give me pennies. That's cool. But it wasn't nearly half. It wasn't even like, I don't know, like 10% or something. Anyway, point is, I had to go back and live with my parents. And the irony is, this man that I actually still loved since 16 years old didn't even once again get to know I was leaving. I just left. I feel like I've loved him since the day I saw him. I have been in love with that guy since I was 16 years old. I mean, technically speaking, I don't think about him. I've only ever thought about him 2 days in the last couple months. And those are the days I have dreams with him. But when I think about him and when I tune into his energy and I remember him, there's all this love here. And that there's like all this, like what coulda, shoulda, woulda, And there's this opportunity. And it's like God is saying, if you want him, you can have him, Jenna. He loves you. He's always loved you. He's always provided for you, taken care of you. He gave me the job when I needed it. And then as my boss, he kept me safe and protected there at that place, full of sharks. He kept helping me grow and learn. He would teach me his job. He taught me his job because he told me that he wanted me to have it. He loved me. And I want to talk to him, But I met my twin flame recently, and And that's the whole reason I'm even dealing with all of this to begin with. But he loved me. And he would take me on these like day trips. It was not normal, and I think that he and I were both so powerful as manifestors that we manifested people to not really ask questions. It's really strange. I'm looking at it back now and I'm like, the people that I thought would have been jealous of us, they kind of just became silent. They almost couldn't say anything about us being friends. Even my own husband, when we were engaged, like even still, he didn't even mind that I was friends with this guy. He didn't take anybody else, but he would go to these like events and he would take me. Because, and his excuse to the CEO would be, well, she's gonna one day take over. And I had gotten promoted to the first woman supervisor, but they were getting my office ready, they were getting a plaque ready, they were getting like the whole name transfer, they were getting everything ready, and it was gonna take a couple weeks. But in that time, something went down and I had to quit. I couldn't stand the way they were treating employees there, and they wouldn't change. So on principle, I had to leave, and I left a pay raise, a fucking office, and the first title of woman supervisor there. But this man, he loved me. He wasn't the type to keep knowledge held for ransom. He wasn't the type of man that would have stunted my growth. He would have fucking helped me get where I wanted to be. He was never threatened by my independence. He wasn't threatened by the fact that I wanted to do more. I wanted to know more. I was hungry for growth. I was hungry for supervisory. I was hungry for growing and evolving. And he knew it, and he saw it, and he empowered me. He wasn't like any other man I'd met. Every other man I'd met wanted to control me and keep me stunted. Even my biological father, when I was leaving to go to that frickin' $400 a month hole in the wall with bullets in the fucking window, I remember my dad said, "You can't afford that, Jenna. You can't leave me. You're not gonna ever really make it, are you? You can't afford this. You can't afford that. You should just stay. You should just stay." All the while, his wife was telling me to leave. Bro, make up your damn mind. Narcissist. That guy was a narcissist. My real dad, I think, was a narcissist. I don't know. I think so. But this guy that I'm still kind of in love with, I think I'm still in love. I don't know. I think I'm still in love with this guy. I don't know. And I know I can't go back. Like, I know I can't. My head over heart, it's like I know I can't. But he wanted me safe. Like, every time the CEO would come down on people, he'd go up to bat for me. He'd always talk about the good work that I'm doing. He's like, "Did you see what she did today? Look at that." And anytime like he'd get credit for something in the department, if it were my work, he would tell them. He'd be like, no, it was Jenna. She did that. That was her idea. That was her work. She stayed overtime to do that. She helped the client do this. She got that added bonus. She did that. She got this. She signed this new contract. She signed this new client. She did this. He never took any of the credit that was mine. He was so fair. It was like, he's the first man that ever was fair in my life. I've never loved somebody as deeply as I loved him. And he came back in a dream last night. And he was asking me if I wanted to talk to him again, and if I still loved him, and if I he never stopped. I love him, but I don't know what to do. My heart hurts so bad. I'm in so much pain. I have readings to do at 11 for people, and I don't even know how I'm gonna fucking cope. I'm not okay. Because it's like knowing that there's someone better for you, better matched. Not better in quality. This man is pure love. It's all love. But better for you, better matched for your needs, for your wants, for your desires, for your future, for your business, for your life purpose, for your future. But then, like, it's also right now so elusive. My twin flame, like, there's no contact between us. If anything, it makes me feel almost insane sometimes to even talk about him. But there's this guaranteed love. It's a guaranteed love. Begging me, come back, I promise. I promise I'll make up for it. I swear to God. Like, he's just so adamant that he's never gonna hurt me. And there's this promise, like, you can have it if you want it. God is even saying, like, Jenna, it's love. It would be blessed. If you want it, I will bless it. But it's a choice. It's like, what do I think I deserve, I deserve love. He's love. And he's willing to give me love right now as it is. Isn't that basically right there me admitting that maybe I should do it? Like, but then I think about, like, he's not into the same things I am. I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I haven't met the guy again in 12 years. I don't know anything. What he's been doing, how he is. And then there's this nagging voice in my head, like, I'm going to screw up something with my twin flame when I'm this close to it, Maybe he was your twin flame. Wow. Maybe he was. It's weird. I made a post last night, if you saw that comment, that I made a comment on my community post about everybody's your twin flame. So there is a chance that he was channeling my twin flame. Look, guys, this is how it is. When two or more are gathered in my name, there I am, right? That's biblical. Where two or more are gathered in my name, there I am. I don't think it's verbatim, but it's something like that. Where two or more are gathered in love, there God is. And if God is there, then why wouldn't your twin flame be? I had never been treated with so much respect in my life. It's weird. What's so ironic is this was the same kid that bullied me in high school. And he made up for it as an adult. In the same way that my dad was hoping to make up for never being in my life for 18 years. It's like the same way. This guy was like, I'm going to make up for it. I'm never going to hurt Jenna like that again. He never bullied me again. He defended me, protected me, helped me get raises when I needed them and when I deserved them, yeah, but when I wanted it too. I mean, I had earned it. It's not like he just handed it to me. I fucking worked for everything I've ever had in my life. I've worked my ass off for 33 years for everything I've ever had. And here he is, just offering his love to me again for the third time. Once in high school, once in this company, and then now here again as adults. And God's telling me, literally my guides are telling me, if I don't choose him, He will find a wife very soon and have kids. And I'm so happy. I want him to. He will find someone else and be happy. But I don't know. I'm just like kind of at a loss. Like, what do I do? You know? How are we worlds apart? And if we're worlds apart and timelines apart and beliefs apart, and then if I even go and message him, is that gonna like mess up his destiny? Is that gonna fuck up his life? Like, would that affect his chance at love? And would it affect mine too? Because, you know, I think it would be quite the statement if I went back to him. Even to just test the waters, I think it would be something of a slap in the face to my twin flame who I'd met recently. I also know that he is pure love, my twin, and he would be like, no, I understand it. I understand why you had to do it. But I feel like that would probably ruin anything. I think that would ruin anything good. You know. I don't know. I'm having a really, really, really tough time in love right now, guys. Like, wow. It's bad. I didn't know it was this bad. I didn't know that my love life was this sad and desperate and pathetic. Oh, God. I don't even know what to do. I don't know. I mean, he was beautiful. Oh, God. The most... Just... Every time he'd come in the room, he did this thing where he'd open the door, and when he did, he's larger than life. And he would just open the door, and my last name was Cooper, and he would call me Coop. He's just like, hey, Coop. He's the only man that ever had a nickname for me, ever. And he had that nickname in high school, too. And I never had a nickname by anybody else, ever. He just always made me feel so seen. So loved. I've never been loved before. He was the only one that ever loved me, and I can genuinely say that. Like, I mean that. The others I don't know ever did. Because they were controlling. My grandpa did. My grandfather did. You know what's funny is my grandfather, he's not even really my grandpa. He married into the family. He didn't even have kids. He just married into our family, and now he's my spirit guide on the other side. He helps me with my business. He helps me bring in clients. He's one of my spirit guides that help guide other spirit guides to bring in people in the physical to read for. So he's still helping me on the other side. But yeah. What nobody really knows is I lost my grandpa the same time I lost this guy in high school when I got moved to a different state. I never saw my grandpa again. And I never saw this guy again until about 20. I didn't know he was the manager there. When I saw him and I was like, it was like this dude was back from the dead. I don't know how to describe the feeling I had, but it's like, turns out my husband, who would be later on my husband, he noticed me in the waiting room filling out the application for the job. I didn't even notice him. He was spying on me. My husband was spying on me. And the girl that got me the gig too, she was there in the waiting room, and we were waiting for the supervisor, but she didn't tell me who he was. She didn't say, oh, by the way, you know this guy, because he didn't even tell her. He saw my name on the application. He knew it was me. He saw my age, my name, my race, all of it. He knew it was me. And he didn't even tell her. He wanted to surprise me. So he opens the door on the first day, like when he's going to give me the job, he opens the door, busts it wide open. Guys, and I mean larger than life. This dude's a fire sign, so he just like busts it open. Hey, Coop, you want the job? And the fucking look on my face, bro. The look on my face. I was like, there's no way. There's no way. You're my boss? He's like, yeah, you want the job? You got it. And the girl, like, she just looked at me like, wait, what about all the questions and stuff? What are we going to still do the interview and stuff? And he's like, hell yeah, we're having an interview right now. And so he brings me to his office and he's just like, so how you been? It wasn't even like, what's your experience? There was experience, but there's no experience in a prestigious company like that. I hadn't had experience in a good, reputable company before. And I think she just was kind of like awestruck. I didn't even notice her. She faded out, man. She faded out. I was in paradise with him during that interview. And it's like, boom, all the vultures swarmed in. It's when my ex-husband started approaching me. He started chasing me. And I thought that was love. I thought when you get chased down by a man, it's love. If they don't take no for an answer and they just pester you, I thought that was love. I thought that that's how it is. That's how a man shows you they want you, right? But like I kept saying no and he wouldn't respect boundaries. There was really no love there. From day one, that was a very, very, very karmic situation. But it's like, in a way, guys, it almost feels like I had a handler. Does that even make sense if I say that out loud to you? I felt like there was just this cloud of darkness at that place because there was true love there. Like, you can't have magic between two people and there not be darkness. I just wasn't prepared for the darkness. I didn't know it was a spiritual darkness. I hadn't gone through the dark night of the soul yet. It was triggered by my husband, though. When I met him, that's when the dark night of the soul started. But yeah, it's like he had all this love for me, and it's like that is a lot of energy. That's a lot of high vibrational energy. And if you share that kind of love with somebody, you best believe vultures and a swarm of well, I don't know what else you would, I don't know, of vultures, vultures, I guess, will come and ruin it and take anything beautiful and destroy it. And that's exactly what happened. So now he's telling me, I really want you to reach out. If you want, we could try this again. And I'm kind of tempted. I'm going to be completely real with you. I'm tempted. I know it's bad. I know. But when it comes to my twin flame, like there's so much work, so much shadow work that's being done. It's like sometimes you just want to go to a soulmate and be like, hey, let's just have a comfy life. I'll stop with the growth. I don't have to ascend so much so quickly. I don't have to do leadership like that. I don't have to be on all the time. Let's just like get married, have a white picket fence, buy a chihuahua, and move into the fucking mountains and pretend that we don't exist. Let's do that. But then you got your twin flame and the purpose and the mission that spirit has for you, and it's like, oh God, that shit's gonna be so fucking hard. That's gonna take so much work. That's gonna be so much healing. That's gonna be that requires so much, though. I don't want to see my reflection anymore. I don't want to see my shadow anymore. I don't want to see darkness in me anymore. And that's all my twin flame brings out of me, it feels. He brings out the best, but he brings out the worst. And I don't want this anymore sometimes. But I think about it and I'm like, bro, I've wanted this my whole life. You know how I know I wanted it my whole life? Because listen to my story. Listen to my testimony. Listen to my whole fucking life story. There is no way a normal, I don't know what you would call it. I'm sorry to say normal. I don't know what I am. Abnormal, I guess. There's no way like a normal muggle, just a normal person, would have gone through all of that if they weren't meant to do something big. And I know it sounds pretentious, superficial and a little bit narcissistic. I understand. But I look back at my life, at everything that's happened, and I'm like, it was so magical. There is no way I cannot be without a magician. I love the guy from the past. Can't even call him an ex. We never even took off, you know? But this guy from the past, like he's not spiritual. I could teach him some stuff, but like he's at probably level 5. I'm way ahead. If I go back, it would be comfortable. It would be nice. It would be love. I could teach him and he could teach me, and it would be love, right? Wouldn't it? I think it would. But would it be though? Because you'd also know that there's someone out there different than him. Once you know, you can't unknow. How far could I get? Right? How far can I get? Like, if I try to go back, will there always be my twin flame that's pulling me in a different direction? And if that's the case, is it really fair to go back to this guy and get him to like fall in love and get his hopes up when he could be investing that time into another woman who's much more aligned with him? This is where selflessness comes in. This is where if you love something, you let it go. Right? This is where you have to be the bigger person and you have to say, I love you so much that I'm not going to be with you. I love you so much that I'm going to leave you. And I know that it's painful. This is the most painful thing I've ever gone through. And I can genuinely say that. Besides losing my grandpa, that was bad. But this is pretty tough, because this is the second man that's ever loved me. And this isn't my grandpa being ripped from me. This is me having to deliberately choose to say no. It's like a carrot being dangled right in front of your face. The sexiest, most gorgeous, most seductive carrot you've ever fucking seen in your life, bro. And they're dangling it right in front of your face and saying, okay, it's this or it's your twin flame. Either way, it's love, which is always a good thing, you know. It's good that it's love. But technically speaking, is it really love if I go back? I think that's the biggest question I need to ask myself. Knowing that I know of a twin flame, I know that there's someone more aligned. Is it a disservice to myself? Is my self-love going to be jeopardized? Knowing that perfection exists. I mean, my twin flame isn't perfect by like cookie cutter standards in society, but he's perfect for me. Ultimately, would it be settling? Yeah. Sometimes you have to trust only what you know. And right now, only my intuition can tell me. And it's the hardest thing I've ever done. And it's going to be the biggest sacrifice I've ever made. And this pain that I feel will make my heart so pure for love. It will purify my soul, my heart, I will be so much more able to receive the divine love that my twin flame is. Like, I am not about to. I'm not about to settle. I'm not. And it's not that this man would be settling per se, because he's pure love. But I would always know every day that the real one is out there. And if I know that a twin flame exists for me, how unfair would it be for me to take away the opportunity for somebody else to meet their twin flame? For me to spend years with this guy when he could be out there meeting his twin flame who is perfect for him at that level. Like, his perfect match. I think that that's what it is. I think that, yeah, would it be love? Sure, we would share love. But what would true love do? Like, what would love do? Honestly, guys, unconditional love, what would it do? Sometimes love walks away. And it's a very controversial opinion. And I know a lot of people don't fucking like me talking about it because that's the standard, which means you have to do that too. So a lot of people would get it twisted and hate on me for the blessings that are about to come through because I'm going to choose love. And some people project onto me bitterness and hatred because I tell you like it is, and I tell you as a high priestess how it is. You want the truest, most unconditional love that exists, a true twin flame union? Perfect. Be a true twin flame. Be true unconditional love. Be the type of love that would make sacrifices. Don't go for the quick fix. Don't go for settling. Don't be that desperate. Wait. Wait. The one that you want is worth waiting for. This man loved me more than any man ever has, and I can honest to God say that. No joke. That man loved me more than anyone. Until I met my twin. The sacrifices that my twin flame has already made before he even knew I existed in the 3D, before this man even knew that I was his counterpart. The sacrifices he had made too. He didn't know me, but guess how many karmics he left? All of them. Guess how many women this man had to say goodbye to because he knew that he deserved unconditional love and they weren't giving it? All of them. Guess how many people he let go of for me before he even knew me? All of them. All the gossipers, the backstabbers, the traitors, the cheaters, the thieves. Anybody karmic, any situation that's karmic, any job that didn't serve him. So now guess what he's doing? He's making money doing what he loves and loves what he's doing, and he's happy because he never settled. I deserve a man that never settled. I deserve a man that let everyone go because I let everyone go. It was hard. If it were easy, everyone would do it. This shit is fucking tough. But I did it. I did it. And I deserve the reward and the blessing that comes with it because I fucking did it. Nobody else did it for me. Friends didn't leave these people for me. My mom didn't leave these people for me. I entered heaven on my own accord, and with my soul. That's what you're going to do as well when you ascend. You are going to do it on your own. No one's getting the credit and no one's getting the reward but you. I deserve to know what it's like to be with a man who left everybody behind on the promise that one day he'd find me. Who had that much faith in God, that much hope, that much faith that I existed even before he knew I existed. I deserve a man of equal caliber who believed in love that much that he left everything toxic behind. Who died to self. He died to self. He already went through ego death. Right? Christ died for me. What does that mean, guys? What does it mean? It means his ego died so that Christ can live. Right? Jesus died so that the Christ within the man Jesus could ascend, could live again and heal people, share his testimony, right? The healing of the Christ figure in my twin flame is my birthright. I'm not going back. I can't go backwards. This man that loved me unconditionally, he is so beautiful. We were like really, really best friends. And here he is being offered to me on a silver platter, not as a temptation from the devil. See, that's where a lot of people get it twisted. A lot of people think that it's the devil testing you with these connections, like the soulmate connections. It's not. It's not the devil doing that. The devil would be the agents sent in to tell you, oh, go back to them. Do it for sure. Yeah, do that. But like, you know, it's not your life path. You know intuitively that it's not. But the devil himself is not the one bringing you that offer. Because that person is love. He wouldn't be karmic for me. There would be no karma. Because we would just be unconditional love. But the difference now is it wouldn't be karmic, but it would be me knowing that I am settling and keeping him from his twin flame. I know that guy's not my twin flame. That guy is not me in another body. That guy is not the one for me. But I love him unconditionally and always will. And the deepest love I can ever show him is to let him go. And it's killing me inside. And I'm dying. I'm dying, and I didn't even want to get out of bed today. I just wanted to die. I still do. I still want to be dead today. I just want to die. I've never felt this much pain in my entire fucking life. 3 days in a row, Reiki on 3 different men, all of which I've loved so unconditionally. I don't know that I can like get out of bed. I don't even know how I made it out of bed today. If it weren't for my Patreon readings I have today, you ladies reading over there, I don't think I would have woken up today. No joke. I'd have stayed my ass in bed all fucking day. I can't do it anymore. I can't be faced with any more soulmates from past lives to be ending these connections. I can't do it. I can't do it. Like, my spirit team better amp it the fuck up and give me some sort of like, I don't know, like, what is happening right now and you ladies holding space for me, this is exactly what I needed, and I thank you so much. But it's like my spirit team needs to step it up with the whole like, Jenna needs somebody, because I can't do it anymore. The amount of karmic soulmates I have said goodbye to in this lifetime is insane. How can a soul know that many people? And how can that same soul suffer that much? Be reminded of a true love that many times, hundreds of times, and still say goodbye. In my own family, come on, man. There will never be another soul on this planet telling me I don't deserve abundance. No one can ever again tell me I don't deserve a twin flame, a happy family, a perfect life for eternity. No one will ever again tell me I don't deserve to feel good in my body, tell myself I'm beautiful, swim around in millions of dollars. Nobody can ever tell me again that I don't deserve the best that life has to offer, because no one knows every single karmic partner that I have left for love. I did it for love. I did it for self-love. I did it for love for me and the love of that person, so that they could find someone matched with them energetically at their level. They might be at level 2. I'm at level 100. It's not fair to keep them from a partner at level 2 that will help them grow. I don't give a shit how many of you think that it's not fair. Heaven doesn't change its standards. You might not like that you're being asked to leave karmic partners. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. No one likes it. If it were easy, everyone would do it. And honey, 8 billion people on the planet sure as shit aren't leaving karmic partners behind. You best believe that. It is the straight and narrow. It is a fucking thin, thin line on this journey to ascension. It is so narrow. You have to do the hardest thing you've ever done in your life. Leave everyone behind for love. Leave everything that is not love for love. For the love of who? For the love of you. So that one day you could meet that person who did it all because they loved themselves that much too. They respect themselves so much that they're never, ever, 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 ever going to let anybody steal from them, energetically drain them, be manipulated by third parties, cheat on you, have people cheat on them. They're never going to stand for that. They value themselves so much that they prepared themselves to be ready for you before they even knew you existed. Now that is love. Now that is a twin flame union. And now that is something that I am going to strive for every day of my life. I don't care if I have to wait for 50 years. I legit don't give a shit. And I have been telling Spirit this, like, I don't care if my ass lives under a bridge. I will love myself so unconditionally. I will look at myself every single day and be like, Jenna, honestly, it doesn't matter how many dollars are in your bank account, how many zits you have on your face today, how many excess calories you have on your butt. It does not matter if you live under a bridge or you live in a mansion. You are still so worthy of the best that life has to offer. You are still so worthy of divine love. You are still so worthy of the love of a king, of the love of God, of the love of Christ. You are so worthy of unconditional love, the kind of love that would have sacrificed everything else for you too. If you sacrifice for you, you best believe your counterpart is sacrificing shit for you too. And if you're not willing to leave a narcissist because you don't love yourself that much, don't even come to me bitching and moaning. Don't come to me bitching and moaning, guys. That the soulmate you want, the partner that you just met, like he's doing the same thing as you. He's mirroring this whole like not leaving his third party. It's a thin, narrow line. It's such a straight and narrow path. And I'm not saying you have to be as extreme about it as I am. This is my calling. My calling is to get up and channel every single day in some form or fashion, right? I take it to an extreme though. I do it almost daily. You guys don't have to do that. This is my life purpose. I don't know what yours is. Mine just happens to look like the girl doesn't get a fucking break. The healing crisis that I go through looks a hell of a lot different than yours, right? I'm on a different path. So don't don't look at my life the way that I get burned out easily and I don't ever take a break. Don't look at that and do that. Don't do that. Take a break. Love yourself. Do as I say, not as I do, because your girl works too damn hard. I go too fucking extreme. I happen to leave 3 karmic partners in 3 days. That's what I do, because I don't do just like normal. I don't just like, just do Reiki. No, I do expedited Reiki that kills a soul. Yeah, that's what I do for fun. This is what I do for fun. Anyway, guys, I'm having a nervous breakdown. I'm really happy for whoever is here holding space. Thank you. I'm hoping it's Daja. I hope you're still here. And I thank you, Vanessa, for being here. Thank you, girls. I know that when I talk about it with twin flames, real twin flames get it. But there's a lot of twin flames that are twin flames and you are still being held back by karmic situations because you're like, I don't want to leave him though, Jenna. He loved me and I loved him. But yet you're sleeping next to the enemy. You don't even know him anymore, honey. You have outgrown a man. You're married or long-term partner. You don't even know the man you're sleeping next to every night. You don't know him anymore. He's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde anymore. You wake up and you're like, new face, who dis? You don't even know the guy. Yet you're telling me you deserve the love of a twin flame? Be your own twin flame. Go love yourself the way your twin flame would. Your twin flame would say, I'll give you the world. I'll give you everything. I'll give you everything. I want to love you so good. I want to be there for you. I want to protect you. I want you to fall into me. That's what God is saying to you. Ladies, that's what God is saying. Fall into me. I'll catch you, I swear. I've not left you yet. Why would I leave you now? That's what God is saying. God is your twin flame. Your twin flame is God. That's what God is saying, ladies. But you keep holding yourself back because you're comfortable. Because your ex is comfortable. You know his likes, his dislikes. He knows how to push your buttons. It's comfortable because there's like this love-hate thing, and like he pushes and you pull, and you have like make-up sex and break-up sex, and it's really nice. It's really fun. But it's not peaceful. It's not love. It's codependency. And it's cool that you want to think that it's love, but you're not going to fucking fool me. I've been there a million times. You're not about to fool me. I've tasted the real thing. I've seen God face to face. I know that in the Bible, when it says that if you see my face, you shall surely die. If you look at my face, if God was saying, if you look at my face, you will die. So when I sit here and I tell you I saw God face to face, that's exactly what happened. I died. I wasn't allowed to see God face to face and live to tell about it. My ego had to disintegrate. I died. The part of me that could die, the part that is God, an eternal source, I can't die. I'm soul, I can't die. But when I saw God 11 years ago out of body, I had an out of body experience. I literally saw God, right? I died. I went through the dark night of the soul like I had to die. The part of me that is ego is disintegrating, and it disintegrates more and more the more I choose love. The more I choose moving on from this beautiful earth angel from my past, though I want him so bad, and he's right there, he's begging for it. He's begging me, please come back, please come back. I promise you I'll give you everything. And he's love. He's love. It would be divinely guided. It would be blessed. That's what my guides are telling me. You have the option. You have free will, Jenna. It's not like this guy's a douche canoe and he wouldn't abuse me. Absolutely not. One, I'd never allow that. And two, God wouldn't allow that. I know what I deserve. I don't deserve an abuser. I wouldn't be manifesting an abuser. Even if I went back to this guy, there would be nothing but unconditional love. He's a soulmate. But how? How could I go back knowing that my twin flame exists? There'd always be this what if. And I guess I go too extreme in my life. When I know something exists, I can't unsee it. When I found out that God was real, a being of light, I found out that God, literally God, in a fucking light being form, non-physical form. I found out God exists. Guess what I did? I told everybody for 11 years, to a point where I was persecuted. I was told I'd be stoned to death. I had dox threats, death threats, people wanting to steal my bank information, all things to dox me so that I couldn't actually do this mission work. And you know what? None of it worked. None of it. Anybody who came up against me had their channels deleted. They would go through divorce right away. After they fucked with me, they went through the darkest night of the soul. I'm telling you, you can't go back. Once you've tasted the best, you can't go back. I've been a prophet for 11 years. I've been prophesying. I've been a high priestess. I have been literally sharing my testimony for 11 years as a believer in Christ. I have been sharing it for 11 years. And I just met a man who has also been sharing the gospel. Maybe not for 11 years, but he definitely shares it now as a high priest. I know he exists. Can I really go back to like a guy who works for big tech? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. That dude's gonna like change the fucking world as an earth angel one day with technology. He will. But me, as a spiritualist, can I really live every day for the rest of my life, knowing magic exists, go back to a guy who might not even believe in magic? I mean, yeah, I can expand his mind and you know, I'll heal him and it'll be fun and I'll teach him like really cool shit. You know, I could teach him about Kundalini and we could do like yoga together and, you know, have like you heal together and it'll be great, but you know that there's a move-in ready. Why would you go be with a fixer-upper if you know there's a move-in ready? The only reason you would do that is if you don't have enough self-love for yourself to have a move-in ready. The only reason you would want to be with a karmic, and I'm not saying he's karmic, but if I go back, it will feel almost karmic to me. If I go back to this other guy, though I love him, and he loves me so much, and I know he does, I can feel it. Everybody can feel it. I'm literally talking about him right now in such a beautiful way that you've all seen how I talk about people that don't love me. You'd know. You'd feel the energy if I were lying to you right now. This man loves me. And if I went back to him, I'd be doing myself a disservice and him. And at the end of the day, there is no choices there. No. There is no choice for me. Any twin flame who has met their twin or believes, you know, even in a dream, you know, you've met your twin in a dream maybe, or an astral projection, right? Once you meet them, once you know that they exist, it's like you can't settle. You can try. I fucking met my twin in an astral projection. The first time I ever met him was in an astral projection. I woke up, was super depressed because I knew I had a soulmate, but I thought he was just like this invisible guy in the clouds somewhere. I thought that this soulmate that existed was just in the dream space, right? So all my friends, everybody, my husband, well, he wasn't my husband, he was my fiance. We were getting married. And he asked me, "Why are you so depressed the last few days?" And I'm like, "Oh, I hadn't noticed. Am I really?" And then a couple other friends would be like, "I don't know, you just seem different." I finally had to admit to my own fiance, the guy that I was about to be with in marriage, I literally had to tell him, "Bro, I love you, but you're not my soulmate." I didn't know about twin flames. I didn't know about that back then. But I said, my soulmate is another man, and I met him in a dream the other night. Also, technically back then, I didn't know it was an astral projection. It was not a dream. It was an astral projection. But again, back then, it's like whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. I knew that he existed. And then I went and told my fiance, "You are not my soulmate." And he said, "It's okay. I know I'm not. Do you want to still get married to me?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." That right there, my friends, is called settling. That right there, my friends, is called karma. That right there is called marrying for money and stability, okay? And that right there has its consequences. And you know what my consequence was? My consequence was literal physical fucking death. I died. Legit died. Had a near-death experience because I was so unhealthy and toxic. I was an alcoholic, a drug addict. I was a sex addict. I was, you name it, that's what I was. And I died because of it. I married for money. I'm not too ashamed to admit that. That's my life. That's my testimony. I married for money. And he knew it too. We weren't like hiding that fact from each other. I knew I had a soulmate, a twin flame, yet I married another guy. Okay. That is the epitome of settling. So I had a lot of karma. A lot of karma to deal with. Yep. So, honey, if anybody is going to tell you what settling is, you best believe I know a thing or two about settling in relationships. I know about narcissism. I know about true love. I know about divine connections. I know about it all. I know about it all. I've seen it all. And at this point, I know that the ex that came back in a dream last night and said, please come back. I promise. He wasn't even an ex. We never got to be intimate at all. We never got to have that. Turns out, I actually heard him say in the dream that he's been romantically interested in me for a very long time, but he couldn't do anything about it because I was engaged and then married and then with his friend and coworker. He couldn't do anything about it. So I didn't know that he ever really had feelings, thought we were just friends. So now he's coming back into my life energetically and he's like, please reach out to me. I was thinking about reaching out on Facebook. I was thinking about it. I'm thinking about it still even, but there's this intuitive nudge that no, you're not going to do it, Jenna. You're not going to do it. Because you love you too much and you love him too much. And sometimes love makes sacrifices. Sometimes you have to make a sacrifice now so that you have a long-term, happy, stable something or other, you know? It's not all about instant gratification. I've already learned my lesson about instant gratification. I wanted a husband. I didn't want a marriage. I wanted a husband back then. That's why I married for money and for status. He was a supervisor. He was polished. He had a huge house and he had all these connections and he had just people were basically worshiping the guy. Like he was just what appeared to be an alpha male. And I was like, yeah, all right. Let's do it. I needed a powerful man next to me. But what I didn't realize was it was all a sham. He wasn't a powerful man. He was a weak-willed man who was lying to everyone. He got caught up in third parties, addictions, habits, people, girls. He wouldn't leave things for me. Toxic things. He wouldn't leave anything for love. But yet I was. Every day I would do something to leave a karmic situation behind. He had no idea that I was starting to become, like I was on to him. Hello, you might think you're an alpha, but you are very much not an alpha. So ironically, and here's the kicker, here's the craziest thing ever. In 2019, when I left my husband, I didn't know it, but I was manifesting the complete opposite of him. For 4 years, I was manifesting the most powerful alpha male type. But not even just like one man. This is an energy. It's a whole bunch of men. This is a whole bunch of masculine energy showing up in my life. From tarot card readers to healers, shamans, leaders, celebrities. I am literally manifesting people who have like fucking political stances that they are that powerful. They're about to be somebody. And it's like an energy. It's an energy that I'm manifesting and I didn't even know I was really doing it. I was so scared to make another man like my ex, manifest another man like him accidentally, like somebody who'd be influenced by girls, who would listen to gossip about me and take it. Just take it. Oh, not even ask questions. Just believe it. Right? Or be so threatened of my independence that he wanted to control me. Control me with money. Use me and abuse me with money. But now I'm bringing in alpha males. Oh my God, the sexiest people you've ever met in your fucking life. And here it is. These men are like so capable, so loving, so healing, so generous. And they give because they want to, especially financially. Like they are really generous in that way, right? Money is energy, and it's basically just energy. I give energy to them in healing them, and they give energy to me in protecting me. It's beautiful as a high priest and priestess. But here's the thing. They're not about to give me things to trap me. They don't love bomb to trap you. They give because they genuinely know if they give to you, they're giving to God. If they give to you, they're giving to themselves. If they give to you, you have less stress on your plate, which means you can give more to them, which means you give more to the collective, which means you give more to their future children. You're giving more to the entire world if you receive as a feminine, ladies. So I guess I'm answering my own question in a roundabout way, which only took an hour and a half for me to come to this conclusion, which is beautiful. I cannot go back to that beautiful man that I've loved since I was 16 years old. And Spirit is showing me right now that if I would not have done the energy cord cutting of my false twin flame last night after the live stream with you ladies, if I wouldn't have done that, my energy wouldn't have been so attractive for this guy that I haven't talked to in 12 years, for him to come back last night in a dream. He wouldn't have approached me. He's a divine masculine. He wouldn't have approached me with the masculine energy if I wasn't able to receive him as the feminine energy. I had to leave the distorted masculine last night. And then boom. Might not have been my twin flame, but a divine masculine approached me yesterday. Right? So it's like, it's an energy, guys. It no longer matters about like anybody in their physical form. Fuck the physical body. It doesn't even matter. In the grand scheme of things, it's an energy. It's an energy in everyone now. It's an alpha male in everyone. It's an alpha female in every girlfriend I meet. Every man I meet now is empowered, strong, generous, sexy as hell. Every man I meet now is protective and provides something to me in some way, because that's what I know I deserve, and that's what the Most High wants to do for me. So ladies, to be in your Empress energy, I hate to say it, but you have to leave everyone behind that you know would be you settling anymore. I love this man. Best friend I've ever had. Deepest love I've ever had since I was 16 years old. I love him with every ounce of my being. And you know what? I love him so much I have to leave him. Just like I loved my husband so much I had to leave him. Just like I loved my mom so much I had to leave her. Just like I loved my sister so much I had to leave her. Just like I loved my brother so much I had to leave him. I had to leave everybody. So no one will ever be able to tell me that when my twin flame comes in, that I don't deserve it. There will never be any jealous Julies or chatty Cathys that try to convince me that being in love with my twin flame next to me, I'm not worthy of it. You ever been in love with somebody and you feel like as soon as you get loved, or as soon as they like call you or text you, boom, somebody comes in and tries to convince you you don't deserve it? You ever have that? You meet this guy, right? You're super happy. You meet him at the bar, or you meet him at church or something. And you go to tell your best friend, like, oh my God, He's so cute. He's so great. He's calling me, texting me all the time, like, oh my God, girl, he's taking me on this date. We're going here, we're going there. Next thing you know, vicious Veronica from down the street comes in and says, yeah, but I bet you anything it won't last. Or, but like, isn't he super busy all the time? Like, he doesn't really have time for you, does he? They always know how to plant the seed, but see, the difference now is I know without a shadow of a doubt that I deserve this love, this attention, this pure undivided attention from every masculine in my life. Bro, every fucking masculine friend I have, I deserve their love. I deserve the energy and the love that they're pouring into me. So even if my twin flame is busy, I have a friend that's a divine masculine and he sends me love. Right? He sends me love and I accept it. There will never be a shortage of love ever again. Ever, 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 ever. And when you live in that vibration of abundance at all times, guess what comes in? Every manifestation you've ever wanted. Because now you are aligned with the abundance of love. You are now living in abundance, even if your bank account looks dire, even if you're living in, poverty, even if you live under a bridge, honey. Your heart is so filled with love, it won't last long. That poverty will not last long. You are going to be matched with such an energy of abundance. It doesn't matter how the fuck it comes in. If it's the lottery or your twin flame giving it to you, or you finding it on the ground. It doesn't matter how that abundance is coming in, but you will not be living under a bridge for long. Because you live in the energy of abundance. Of always more than enough. There's always more than enough. And when you live in that, your bank account has to reflect it. Your subscriber count has to reflect it. Your friend group has to reflect it. Right? Your closet has to reflect it. Your fridge has to reflect it. Your pantry, your everything, your love life, your everything has to reflect abundance. It's an energy now. It's an energy of there's always more than enough. If I'm not getting love from one friend, I'm going to definitely have love from another friend. And if it's not that friend, it's going to be myself. And if it's not me, then it'll be God. And if it's not God, it'll be my twin flame. And if it's not my twin flame, it'll be my pet bunny. And if it's not my pet bunny, it'll be the nature spirits. If it's not nature spirits, it'll be a tree. If it's not a tree, it'll be something else. Always love everywhere, all day, every day. That's it. That's what I deserve. And you know how I prove that to the universe? I prove that to the universe by not going back to this beautiful earth angel from high school that I love and I'm secretly in love with. And I don't know how to get out of love with him. I'm never going to be out of love with him. Because love is God and God is love. So if I'm in love, I'm in God. And so is he. I'll never not be in love again. I'll never not be in God again. Ever. Yet that man will marry another woman, have babies, start his own business, and become this tech giant, this tech guru that like saves the population in some way. I don't know how, but he's going to do something great, right? Because he's an earth angel. And I know that to be true. I know he's a starseed. He's been a starseed since the day he started high school as a reject like me at an alternative school. We had to go to an alternative school together because our parents and our family hated us both and rejected us. He's been rejected and having to leave everybody behind since day one as well. So I know he's an earth angel. I know he's a starseed. So he's going to do something great with his wife and his family, and it's going to be amazing. And I will always love him. But I now know that if I can make this ultimate sacrifice and say, you know what? No more instant gratification. I want what I want and I'm going to get what I want. And that's it. Boom. Just like that. That is my answer. The universe now knows that's my answer. I locked in that answer. And I'm locking it in by telling God right now, I love him so much. God, please bless him. Give him the most beautiful life ever. Please make that man so happy every single day. Please give him the happiest life he's ever dreamt about. Lord, please, please bless him. Archangel Michael, be with that guy every day for the rest of his life. Please send him my blessing in whatever he does. But I am not going back. I want what I want. And I want to touch millions of lives. And I want to help heal with my twin flame. And that's it. That's it. And it might sound really extreme. And it might sound really bold. And it might sound really like intense. A lot of you are probably like, is this girl on drugs? I'm not. I'm seriously sober. The only thing I have in front of me is black tea. So about 100 milligrams, I suppose, of caffeine. But other than that, I'm pretty sober. And this is me telling you that extreme is where it's at. I can't do life any differently. I deserve someone as equally extreme as me. They were so extreme and so crazy and so stupid at times that they left everyone behind for me. Every ex-girlfriend that cheated on him, he left. Every, family member that gossiped about him, he left. He would stick up for himself and say, that's horseshit that you're doing that. I don't approve and I don't want you in my life. And he left. Why? Because I left. He's my soul. We're the same fucking person. That's a true twin flame, guys. That is a true twin flame. You are the same soul. So I am at a crossroads. I can go back to this guy that I've fucking been in love with since I was 16 years old. The most beautiful man I've ever seen. I can go back. I could try it and it would probably work. It would probably work because I think I'd be blessed because God wants to bless me no matter what I do. Right? I have an anointing on my life. I can do whatever I want. I will be blessed no matter what the fuck I do. Literally every single day for the rest of my life I will be blessed. And no one will take that blessing and anointing from me. I can do whatever I want. But I also know now that if a twin flame exists for me, then a twin flame exists for my friend from the past. And I'd be taking him from that. And I'd be taking me from that. And I'd be taking my twin flame from me. And we wouldn't be in that I don't want that. I don't want that. So I'll wait it out. I'll sit my happy hiney in meditation, just telepathy and meditation and dreams right now. Living in my imagination. Yeah, is it crazy? Sure, okay, but it's only crazy until it's done, right? It's only crazy until that shit happens. And then people one day will be telling me, wow, Jenna, you manifested your twin flame simply because you believed. You never gave up hope. You never gave up faith. Never, and I never will. My faith is so rock solid, it scares me sometimes. My faith is so rock solid in what I know to be true that it is fucking painful. And it means I have to leave everybody behind all the time. I lead by faith, not by sight. And one day, when my twin is sitting right next to me in the flesh, people will have no choice but to say, like, well, she knew what the fuck she was talking about. Turns out she was right. But right now, yeah, he might not be here in the physical. But I'm here in the physical. So that's good enough. I'll settle with that for now. I've got a vibrator. I'll settle with that for now. But no, seriously, guys. If you want to settle, settle. But don't come to me for readings because I'm going to tell you like it is. Why are you settling? Don't book a reading with me if you want to settle. If you want truth and you want to go forward believing that you are divine and that you are God, you are creator of your own reality. Ye are gods, right? You want that, perfect. Don't come to a reader like me who believes in the unseen, who believes in faith and God and in divine love. Don't come to me for me to enable you to stay with a narc. Honey, ain't gonna happen. I will convince your ass to leave your narcissist. There it is. That's what I will do. I will convince you till I'm blue in the face to leave your narcissistic husband. To leave behind your family who hates you. I will be the first one to tell you to do so. Because you pay me for a service. You put your hard-earned dollars into my bank account. I now owe you a service. I owe you the truth. I now owe you love, energy. And that reading will be something like, honey, why are you fucking settling? Why are you living with a guy who you don't even know? Yes, girl, you be helping the masses, Daja. I love you. I love you and I thank you. That is such a blessing. Thank you for putting that into the ether. Thank you for putting that into my channel, babe. Because when you write that, you will be healing the masses. Not only do I see it, but everybody else just read it. There's only like 4 people in here, 5 people. Doesn't matter how many people are in here. Other people saw it. And that's what a spell is. That's what magic is. When someone either reads something, says something out loud, hears something, if multiple people hear it or see it or view it, it can either be a curse or a spell. That's why the halftime show, every football game, every Super Bowl is a spell. It's a ritual because people are watching it and giving their energy to it. And so when you write that, Daja, you're actually healing this channel, you're healing me, and you're about to heal the masses along with it because I'm about to show that this shit can be done. Leave every abuser behind, and I swear to you, I swear to God Almighty, I am telling you, as God is my witness, you will be blessed beyond recognition. God loves you so much. He never wants us to be in pain, in poverty, in sadness and despair. That frequency does not align with abundance. And you now live in abundance, so you're not even going to be matched with the reality of suffering anymore. It can't even happen. It's physically impossible now. That shit will hurt so bad. Like if you go to talk to a Debbie Downer, right? No offense to Debbies. But if you go talk to a Debbie Downer, that shit will hurt so bad in 2.2 seconds. You will be like, nope, can't do it. Gotta go bye. Because they're not on the same timeline. I think I've answered my own question. Should I go back to this guy from the past? Should I reach out to him on YouTube? I mean, on Facebook. I think I just answered my own question. In a roundabout way, all I needed to do was hear my own self think. I am so in love with that guy that I love him enough to let him go. I am so in love with my twin flame that I love that ex enough to let him go. And my twin is so in love with me that he loves me enough to let everything go, everyone, everything, every bad job, every gig that paid him pennies. He's like, nah, bro, I deserve the fucking life. I deserve to live with money falling in my lap. And I deserve to do it with her. I don't know who she is yet, but when I meet her, I'll know. That's who I deserve. I deserve me in another body. Let's be real. Let's be real. Okay? If I love me this much, I deserve a man who would love me this much. And the beauty about it is God's not giving you just one man to love you this much. You will now have several men loving you this much. Brothers, like soul brothers, not necessarily romantic partners, although shit, honey, it's your life. It's your life. If you want to be in heaven, in nirvana, and your ass has like 15 guys on your arm, have at it, honey. Have at it. Do what you're gonna do. Okay? Go live your life. There's enough love to go around. But for me, I'm a one man woman. I really think it'll just take one guy for me. I really think that's it. That's all I really need. It would be super fun if you had like multiple personalities though. Every other day just not knowing who you're with. That shit's fun. That shit's fun. But yeah, I just really only need one guy. One Peni. You know what I mean? That's it. I don't really need more than that. I'm pretty okay with just that. But the point is, if I want to love and be loved, I gotta stop saying no to everything that is going the wrong direction. So I basically answered my own question, which is really great because I have an appointment in 3 minutes on Patreon. I hope you guys are there. I hope you'll be there. I can't wait to talk to you ladies over there. But in 3 minutes, I have readings to do. So isn't this quite fitting that I came to this conclusion when I did? I have just decided that man is no longer in my life. I'm going to send him farewell. I'm going to ask you ladies to please bless that guy in your mind. May he find his divine match. May they have the healthiest, most beautiful babies in the whole world. May he heal the world with his tech. He's so tech savvy. See, that's the crazy shit though. That man is such a genius. He's going to do something crazy for the world. I will one day see him on the news. I know it. I know it. He will be a tech giant. And I really hope that you ladies wait for your real one too. I'm going to let you go. I got to go pee, and then I'm going to go on Patreon. I'll see you girls there. Bye-bye.